How the heck are you guys? I am Fastidious, and let me tell you, some videos are just more fun to film than others, and this is one of those videos. A good rant can be a lot of fun, it can be cathartic. A guide can be really fulfilling because I'm teaching people stuff and helping people stuff, but a very juicy news drop is just so fun to share. And that is what we have got today. This is wholly good news. The banners for not this weekend, but next weekend have been announced as part of the new rerun of the Sun Wukong event. That is right, we're getting the whole event, and obviously, as a part of it, we are getting a Sun Wukong return. And this is really phenomenal for a lot of players. I know a lot of players have put 4 or 5 unpolished soulstones into him, so to those people, you can pick up a copy and reset down the road, or just skip it. But a lot of people don't have him A5, and if you don't, this is such a welcome banner. However, that is not why I'm so excited. I am so excited, well, for a lot of reasons. This is just good news. We'll go through it quickly. I'll do a full event breakdown in the future, but I just wanted to get the news out, get the good word out about these official confirmed banners. The reason I'm most excited to share this with you, if you haven't seen, I have a guide on a new character coming to the game, a new hero named Raizan. He is a Nightmare Marksman. He is a very, very good burst DPS. He's a very good shield breaker hero. And they have announced Raizan's banner as well, and it is the pairing banner with Sun Wukong. So if you don't know what I mean by a pairing banner or a partner banner, however you want to think about it, whenever there's a limited banner, there's another banner that goes along with it. And you can see we're getting our exclusive limited 200 guarantee Sun Wukong banner with Selkath. This is the second time they're rerunning this banner, even though it's only the first time they're rerunning the event. But with a limited banner, they're going to do another normal raid up banner. And that banner is going to be the following. Raizan Yuri. Wow. Raizan's coming. He's going to be insanely desired by the vast majority of players. He is just phenomenal, and he's really good at A0. Really good at A0. More on that in a second. But they have chosen to pair him with Yuri. And Yuri is phenomenal. Yuri is aging like the finest of wines. She has a very unique kit. I've been extremely high on Yuri for so long, and we've seen over the past couple months the reasons I was high on her have been realized within the gameplay. She is super, super strong in anti-air arena. If you don't have the tippy-top perfect meta comp, she is by a mile your next best option. She can easily carry you to Apex if you have the right stuff around her and you have good gear. And with the introduction of the stages 22, 23, and 24 in our 3 gear aids, Yuri has really risen as a top-tier option for Gear Aid 3, stages 22, 23, and 24. Another huge thing with Yuri that you can all be excited about is her and Kiri have a bond skill. And it's actually so strong nowadays. A bonded Kiri with A3 minimum in a piece of content like Malric, specifically the Black Sewers, is completely busted. If you're earlier on in the game and you just need a general progression carry, a multi-awakening Kiri with a bond skill can just solo so much stuff by himself and keep himself sustained because the bond skill allows him to restore his HP. There's so much good stuff in this banner, and it's so refreshing and nice to see that they have chosen to pair a very desirable limited banner with an unbelievably good pairing banner, right? So I'm not going to break down pity manipulation now. When I do the Should You Summon next week on this, I'm sure I'll do a mini refresher. If you want to get ahead of the curve and you don't know what I mean when I say pity manipulation, I have multiple videos really diving deep into it. I go through spreadsheets. I explain the entire strategy. If you really want the best video, it's going to be the 4 Dummies video that I made, where I just try to dumb it down, simplify it, and make sure everyone understands. But the way it works with a limited guaranteed banner is you are guaranteed to hit the limited hero on your 200th summon if you have not hit them before then. So as you're summoning and racking up a tally, getting towards 200, you're also building a pity. But because you don't need to hit pity to have a chance to get Wukong unless you're trying to hit him early or hit the limited hero if you're watching this in the future and it's a different banner, when you build that pity, you can go use it on a different banner. And that is the pairing banner. So that is this Raizan Yuri banner. So you're concurrently building pity that you can go use elsewhere, assuming you don't hit early, and you're building the tally for Wukong. It's essentially a double dip. And if you line it up well, you can basically get the limited hero for free or, within 10, 20, 30 additional summons. Insanely cheap. And it is a guarantee when it does line up properly and you don't hit early. So like I said, if you wanted to learn more about it, you can watch me do it live. a weekend after this weekend. That is going to be a huge Pulls party. This is going to be the biggest Pulls event we've had probably since the anniversary. I'm very, 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 very excited. So you can watch that live and see how I do it, or go ahead and watch that Pity Manipulation for Dummies video. I'll put that link in the description in the top pinned comment. 2 excellent banners are coming, and I've got to say, yes, this weekend is tempting, and yes, I'll go deep on it probably Thursday, maybe tomorrow, on if you should be considering this banner. But frankly, the vast majority of players are going to want the top meta options. And for a lot of things, it is not Twyla at all. It's going to be Sun Wukong, even at A0. And for sure, it's going to be Ryzen, especially for something like Abyss. Hex is still awesome. That being said, he is not the absolute god single target GOAT like he used to be. He's just excellent and very good. But when you've got a guarantee with Sun Wukong, assuming you don't already have him at A5, and you're not trying to pick up dupes for an eventual reset if you did Soulstone him, and obviously you don't have Ryzen, I mean, to me, that is the much more alluring weekend that should be cheaper and will boost many more accounts. Not to say this banner isn't really good, but that is some pretty spicy stuff. I'll tell you right out of the gate, not much to say about it. This Surprise Invocation of Spirits, the 1+1 event, is the hardest skip of all time. I don't care if you're a brand new account. Unless you're a brand new account, you just have a ton of summons to spare, so you just want to hit it once. Of course, do it. But I would say be stocked up and be prepared. You can see, actually, I'm not on my main account right now. On my main account, I have 115,000 diamonds right now. They actually owe me over 100,000. That is not to brag. That's just to say I'm going to have a lot of diamonds, and there's a real chance I'm going to pull 1,500 times, maybe more, for Sun Wukong. I think he's that important. I think getting him A5 is that important. I've got 1 Soulstone in him right now. I've pulled him 3 times, and then I put a Soulstone in to make him A3. I would love to, potentially get him A5, and if it's going really good, maybe keep going. And I've got 3 reset books, maybe reset, get a Soulstone back. I don't know if I would do it, honestly, for just the 1 stone, but something to think about. Something some of you guys should definitely think about if you have 2 or more stones, I would say, because these Soulstones are rarer than they've ever been. All in all, this is just a really exciting weekend they're lining up for us. If I can give you a couple more really cool tidbits, or, I don't know, pieces of information, things we can chat about together, this was a huge disappointment when they reran Sun Wukong for the first time, that they didn't run his event. I think that was the first time in the history of the game they reran a limited, but only reran the limited. They didn't rerun the events that the limited came out with. But they are doing the Sage's Return event, right? They're doing this whole thing. You're going to have the story mode stages. We're going to have a full redeem shop, this, that, and the other. You can get a copy of his artifact. You can get tons of stuff. And most importantly, lots of diamonds, some ancients, lots of rare summons. It's just these events, these limited character events, and the things they build around it with the story modes, with the challenges, so on, are very generous. They come with a lot of freebies. So it was a big disappointment they didn't do it last time. Very cool they did it this time. Final 2 things I want to talk about. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Sorry I didn't get to it earlier. I guarantee 5 people have already yelled at me in the comment section. Kiri. They're running a new limited, and they're running Yuri and another awesome hero on the other banner, but they chose to run Sun Wukong for the 3rd time when they've never run Kiri for a 2nd time. It would have made perfect sense if this was a Kiri rerun event with the first ever rerun of his banner as well, while Yuri's on the other side with Ryzen, right? It just makes sense. Let's call a spade a spade. All right. I'm gonna lean back. We're gonna be serious here. They completely screwed up with Kiri, right? Like, there's no way they coded his A3 to work the way it does. The fact that you get those 2 damage stacks as permanent damage stacks, and they are additive. Like, we've said it for a long time on this channel, over a year now, or actually just about a year, since I guess it's probably 10 months, because we didn't really understand how busted it was. Maybe 11 months. It was like November last year. He's so strong, and they've clearly assessed that and decided they don't want to rerun him. Do I think that's fair? No, I think that's horrendous, because at this point, the game has existed for a year, just about exactly a year, a couple weeks less than that, since Kiri came out, and Kiri is just such a core boss DPS OP menace in this game. You need him as a base copy if you even want a place to put those unpolished soulstones, and very likely, because unpolished soulstones have become so rare, you need multiple copies. So anyone that started since like November 1st, 2024 is pretty SOL, right? You're kind of screwed, and they refused to rerun him. Yes, we had the limited selector banner, but obviously some people probably went for their Diao Chan. Maybe some people went for Sun Wukong. It all depends what was going on around that time on those accounts. But I do think it's a little insane. But I think we have to accept it now. They're obviously eventually going to rerun him. It would be pretty insane not to do that. However, they're clearly in no rush to do so. Sun Wukong came out 2 months after Kiri, and they have rerun him twice now after next weekend before they've ever rerun Kiri once. And I think it's something we just have to accept. I would anticipate they're going to probably gear it around. Maybe there's another limited selector banner for New Year's Eve or something. Maybe it's going to be a Christmas thing. Maybe they're going to slide in around Thanksgiving. They've got to do it soon. There's no way this could go on for another 6 months or something. They can't make players that just happen to start later, players they worked hard to market to and bring to the game. They can't just let them continue to be screwed for a year and a half total since his original run. But I do think that's kind of the elephant in the room, that they're choosing to rerun Sun Wukong for a second time before Kagiri's ever been rerun once. The final thing, and maybe you saw in the thumbnail, I do think it's exciting, but there's just not that much to say. I think they're in a good mood. I think Moonton's in a good mood. I know they're on vacation this week. I've spoken with the devs. This is I think must be a Chinese holiday or bank holiday or something. They rerun the Sun Wukong event. Ryzen's coming, and they let us know about Ryzen before. That's the other thing. They're letting us know about Ryzen and Wukong before Hex and Twyla. That's pretty sick. They never do that. They're always trying to screw us. This is very player-friendly to let us know before you go into this weekend and make a potential mistake. And then on top of that, look at this. Just 2 Ancients and a Divine in the mail. Don't mind if I do. And it's nothing. They're just saying, hey, this is the mid-autumn gift. What's a mid-autumn gift? I don't know. I think they're in a good mood. I think they're feeling good. Maybe they're going to start listening to us. I don't want to be so rosy and overly optimistic. I mean, Zurbis looks like an absolute mess. You're going to see a video about that later today. Like an absolute mess. If they refuse to buff him before Monday, it is going to be, buff him's not the word, rework him, rebalance him. He is unplayable. It is awful content. The new Malric instance is very, very sloppy. The fact that we can't repeat higher level Malric runes beyond the standard 5 is terrible. The Soulstone Shard system, very, very bad. Let's just be hopeful. Maybe this is the sign of many bits of good news to come. But for now, let's enjoy the little victory. We're getting Sun Wukong. We're getting a Ryzen and Yuri banner overlapping with it, which is a perfect synergy, perfect lineup. Yes, the lack of Kagiri is disappointing, but also they're letting us know all about this stuff, 3 days before this weekend's banners, before the 1+1, before Hex and Twyla. I mean, maybe this is it. Maybe they're feeling the Thanksgiving spirit. Maybe they're feeling the Halloween good vibes, and maybe they're just already getting into that Christmas season and they're getting real generous. I hope so. This is pretty cool stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Fastidious. If you like my stuff, please do subscribe to the channel. You notice I haven't mentioned it yet in this video, but I'm going to start mentioning it a lot more as just a dirty YouTube hustler. We got to get to 50,000 subs by the end of the year. We're getting so close. We're just over 2,000 subs away. If you're not yet subscribed and you're the kind of person that enjoys the content, wants to support me, and makes it 12, 13 minutes into a video, hit that button. It's free, and it's a great way to help me out, help out the channel, help out the community. Thank you guys. Share with your mother, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.